Big win tonight for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They won 104-6. I don't mean necessarily that the opponent was very big, but it was a big score for Ohio State. This is the first time in a long time, I believe 5 years, I'm saying off the top of my head, since Ohio State last scored triple digits in a game. Very impressive, especially coming from a team that was missing two starters in this game. That's right, Sean Stewart and Aaron Bradshaw were both missing from this game. Now, Sean Stewart was on the bench and he was cheering on his team. However, Aaron Bradshaw is not with the team at all right now. Not at all. So there's a little bit of mystery what's going on there. Jake Diebler had nothing to say about him. He said that due to university or law or whatever it was, is that he was unable to say anything about what was going on. Here's the team statement that they put out. Aaron Bradshaw is not currently participating in team activities. The university is following its established process. Due to federal privacy laws, we cannot share further information at this time. Obviously, this leads to a lot of speculation for Buckeye fans. They're trying to figure out what's going on. However, the university says they can't talk about it all. Well, a little bit of digging by the 11 Warriors, that is an Ohio State site, and they came out and said that, well, in their report, they talked about how there was actually a speeding ticket for Aaron Bradshaw back in the summer, and apparently he had a court date set for that he never showed up to. It was either the speeding ticket was in the summer or the court date was in the summer, one of the two. But regardless, that seems to be the issue here. That has been echoed by other reporters as well over at Letterman Row and also Bucknuts. They are not saying for sure, but based off kind of the way the statement reads and everything, that seems to be what could be the issue. There's really no timetable on something like that. Really, that kind of goes to the university. If Aaron Bradshaw failed to appear in court, would he even stay on the Ohio State basketball team? I tend to think he would. They'll probably just get through the process of this and he'll continue to play with the team. However, if there's something more severe we're not aware of, he may not play for this team again or for this team again this season or even at all. We'll see what happens in this one, but definitely hope everything is okay with Aaron Bradshaw. Hope everything is okay with the Buckeyes behind the scenes and they're able to get through this. Definitely on the court, they were able to get through it because, like I said, Ohio State scored 104 points this game, first time since 2019. So, yeah, I guess that would be 5 years. Ohio State just dominated shooting. And when Ohio State gets shooting like this is a team you're not going to beat. Whether you're Duke, whether you're Kentucky, whoever you are, if Ohio State shoots like this in a game, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat them. And there are very few teams in the country that would even have the capabilities of beating them in those situations. Ohio State went 11 for 13, 84.6% from three in the first half. Juni Mobley, as they call him, led the effort, hitting 5 threes and scoring 19 points by halftime. Excellent ball movement. This wasn't just a situation where Ohio State was coming down the court and chucking it up right away. There was very good ball movement. You could tell they were kind of hunting for some of these shots. Under Chris Holtmann, you saw some issues where the team just kind of put up shots whenever there was nothing else there. This is a different team under Jake Diebler to where they are hunting these shots. You saw it even against Texas A&M when they didn't shoot so well. They continued to try and hunt those shots. Now, I did feel like they kind of chucked it up a little bit more against them as they were pressing a bit, but this was an Ohio State team that overall just felt very good shooting the entire night. They only took 20 3-pointers in this game. That tends to be what happens when you get up by a little bit more. So they obviously were not firing as much as they have been on the season. But Micah Parrish, he had a strong performance in this game, strong scoring. The team's first 7 points in the game, finishing the game with 16 points, nearly a double-double with 9 rebounds. And then Devin Royal playing a lot of 5 minutes in this game with no Sean Stewart, no Aaron Bradshaw. You really saw Evan Mahaffey and Devin Royal step in and be big contributors. You were kind of wondering what was going to happen at the 5 spot. Would they start Royal? Would they put Parks in there instead, who's the sophomore, I believe, 3-star sophomore, who's a little, he's a guy you can throw in there that can really get physical down low, but he's not kind of the most polished player out there. Devin Royal is very polished. 17 points, 8 rebounds, and Ohio State had a commanding 53-27 lead by halftime. Campbell's offensive efforts, particularly by Taryn Frank and Cam Gregory, were not enough to keep pace with Ohio State. They struggled to defend Ohio State's hot shooting and ball movement, and quite frankly, they just looked lost on defense with Ohio State's ball movement, with their quick, decisive decision making, their ability to penetrate and then kick out. Everything they were able to do, Campbell just had no answer for them in this one. And then we get to the second half. Points in the paint is really where Ohio State started to do a lot of their dirty work. After dominating from behind the arc in the first half, Ohio State shifted focus to paint, 2 points in the paint in the second half, scoring 40 of their points in the second half in the paint. Overall, they had 52 points in the second half, 40 of those coming from in the paint, really trying to force that part of the game, which was nice to see for Ohio State, as this has been a team that we've primarily seen shoot the ball from three this year, for them to go down low. Now the game was over, so obviously they're kind of doing this with some more of their backups and stuff like that, but it was good to see. Transition and fast break was also something that Ohio State shined at here. Buckeyes continued to push in transition, scoring 7 fast break points. Fast break points has been something that Ohio State struggled with here at times so far this season, so it's nice to see them get up there with 7 of them. Meechie Johnson, he shined with several assists and 12 points. We're going to get to him a little bit later, as there could be some decision making Jake Diebler has to do, but overall, Meechie Johnson had a pretty good game for himself. Only 1 turnover in this game. That's kind of been one of his issues, is how much he's been handling the ball with him turning it over. Evan Mahaffey and Juni Mobley actually led the team with 2 turnovers each, 8 turnovers overall for the Buckeyes in this ones. And Brady Gudmundsson, I hope I'm saying that right. I always get in trouble with some of these guys' names. He scored 12 points for Campbell, but Campbell struggled to find consistency shooting. They did shoot 40%, which is not, terrible, but it's also just not good enough to beat a team like Ohio State. It's not good enough to beat a lot of teams, but definitely not good enough to beat this Ohio State team. One of the key players in this game, just what he was able to do, Juni Mobley. Jake Diebler is going to have a decision-making process here with what he's going to do with Juni Mobley and Meechie Johnson going forward. I don't think Meechie Johnson gets benched. I think he's going to continue to start. Just for a senior leader like Meechie Johnson, I just don't think you can do that to him this early in the season, but you are probably going to start seeing Juni Mobley get more minutes than Meechie Johnson. Now, this is one of those games that's hard to kind of piece together, just because how much they were up by and how much they were playing depth and stuff like that. But in this game, Juni Mobley did have 23 minutes. Meechie Johnson only had 22. So is this something that we could see possibly happening more, where Meechie Johnson is not, getting as many minutes as Juni Mobley? Time will tell, but Juni Mobley, he's a stellar shooter, 23 points off the bench, including 5 of 8 from 3 in this one, 8 of 13 overall, and he got to the line 3 times, went 2 for 3 from the free throw line. He did have some turnovers and he did have some missed layups, but he is growing in his decision making. Obviously, you know that Juni Mobley is a very good shooter at this point. If you don't know that, you've just not been watching Ohio State. But he is definitely somebody that has the green light every time he touches the ball, whether he's at the three-point arc, whether he's by the basket, or whether he's 5 steps off the three-point arc. He has the green light. Bruce Thornton, efficient playmaking with 7 assists, and excellent court vision in this game. He also added 4 rebounds and 11 points to that as well. No turnovers for Bruce Thornton. You're really seeing good play here. I'd really like to see Bruce Thornton handling the ball more. He does handle it quite a bit, but you're kind of seeing him split time handling the ball a little bit with Meechie Johnson out there. I'd really like to see Bruce Thornton be more of that primary ball handler all the time, not just when he's out there, but really all the time. And I think that Jake Diebler will get to that. I think that he just trusts Meechie Johnson, and he's trying to get Meechie Johnson to work through some of the stuff that he's been going through. Now, like I said, only 1 turnover tonight. He did have 4 assists, so I shouldn't hark on that in this game, but it was not the impressive performance that would make you believe everything was fixed. It was a good performance. It's promising, but we need to see these kind of performances a few more times to really believe that things are getting going there. It's not so much against Meechie Johnson as it is just Bruce Thornton is that good, and I believe in him that much. He could be more aggressive at times. Only 11 points in this game, only 7 shot attempts, but with how many guys that were able to hit shots and score in this one, I didn't really mind it. Micah Parrish, he was 4 for 4 from behind the arc, 6 for 9 shooting. Maybe like to see him get to the line, but I'm nitpicking here. I mean, this was overall a very good scoring performance from Ohio State, and one of the guys that you love to see him be able to get in there and score, because you really haven't had this from your 5-man. Devin Royal with 17 points in this game, added 8 rebounds. He was the second highest rebounder to Micah Parrish. 8 rebounds in this one. Did struggle a little bit with fouls. He had 3 fouls in this game, but overall, excellent performance, excellent job in the paint for Devin Royal. What he was able to do, and it really came in that second half where he began to shine the most. 12 of his 17 points were in the second half, like I said, when they were really trying to pound the paint a little bit more in this one. So, all right, let's get to one more. Micah Parrish. He was definitely somebody we need to acknowledge in this game. Dominated the boards, 9 rebounds. He was an efficient scorer, was very energetic, going after every single ball, trying to get them and doing everything he could. Missed a few key shots and struggled at times with his defensive assignments, but overall, just a very good game from Micah Parrish. The defense is going to be there. No worries about that. But when you can get this kind of scoring efficiency from a guy who is as strong of a defender as Micah Parrish is, it's just going to elevate your team that much more. Overall, the pros for Ohio State, obviously we talked about it. 3-point shooting, 65% 3-point shooting in this game. Ball movement, 22 assists as a team. You love to see it. Anytime you can get in between that 20 to 30 assist range in a game is really what you love to see, and Ohio State was right there with 22. The bench impact, you saw bench players getting assists. It wasn't just the starters. You saw some bench players, and Austin Parks actually having a few good passes out there. Juni Mobley with 2 as well. So you saw the assist making, not just from the starters, but by a couple of bench guys as well. And like I said, the strong scoring performance by Juni Mobley and the other freshman, Colin White. Let's shout out him as well. Got some more time toward the end of this game, 10 minutes in this one. And boy, did he look good when he was out there. He had a steal, 2 steals in this game, 3 for 4 shooting, 6 points. Good to see that from a more reserved player we've seen recently in Colin White. But if Ohio State is going to be without Aaron Bradshaw and without Sean Stewart, this is a guy that you could see come in and play that 3 spot, with Micah Parrish having to be moved up to the 4 at times to see what they're going to do there. The cons of Ohio State's performance, and this is nitpicking here, folks. Don't take these too strongly. Turnovers a little bit, 8 turnovers in this game. You're playing a team like Campbell. You really love to see those turnovers down, and it wasn't really one half or the other. They had 4 turnovers in each half. The free throw shooting, only 58% from the line in this one. That is definitely an area that could improve and get better. It doesn't hurt them in this one, obviously, but if you're a team that is maybe not having the hottest night shooting from 3, you need to get yourself to the line and hit those free throws, see those shots go in, and hopefully that helps you out and the other places. And then, just missing key players, Aaron Bradshaw, Sean Stewart, and I can't forget to mention Quez Glover as well. He is another backcourt member that has been a ball handler for this team at times as well. Next game is Ohio State hosts Green Bay. That is a game that, although they are 2-3, still a well-coached basketball team, somebody that they need to be ready and prepared for. Will they continue their momentum, and how will this team adjust with players returning from injury? Ohio State with 35 rebounds in this game, would really like to see that increase a little bit more. Can they get better on the boards than that against Green Bay, especially with their 4 and their 5 out? We'll see how long Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart are out for. But really appreciate you watching. Go ahead, let me know in the comments, what did you think? Did you think there was something about the game that I missed? Did you think there was something about the game that you saw that you would put out there? Would love to hear it from you. Also, please join us on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. Obviously, this Thursday, we won't be having it because of Thanksgiving, but from Thursdays from then on out at 9 o'clock, you can join us. And then on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have our Power Rankings episode with Casual Big Ten Kent. You can catch us here on this channel at 10 a.m., or you can catch us on the football channel over the Big Ten Huddle podcast over there as well. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a good one.